Welcome to Lesson 5, Multiplication Part 2. Today you'll need pages 18 through 20 from your math book and, of course, a pencil. Let's practice our multiplication facts. 6 times 4, or 4 times 6, the turnaround, is 24. 3 times 4, or its turnaround, 4 times 3, is 12. 8 times 4, or the turnaround 4 times 8, is 32. 5 times 3, or 3 times 5, is 15. 9 times 9 does not have a turnaround fact because if we turn 9 times 9 around, we get 9 times 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. 8 times 8 is 64. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, we are starting our first part of the page, and it's the mental math part. Did you know that you can add 9 plus 5? If you can add 9 plus 5, you can also add 90 plus 50 and 900 plus 500. So if you look down here, you can see we have 9 plus 5 equals 14. If we look at 90 plus 50, we know that we have a 0 plus a 0. And 0 plus 0 is always 0. And then we have that 9 plus 5 again. So 9 plus 5 is 14. So you get 140. When you do 900 plus 500, you have 2 zeros at the end. So you're going to put the 2 zeros after the 9 plus 5, which is still 14. 1, 2, 3, put your comma there. And for 9,000 plus 5,000, you have 0, 0, 0. Make sure your commas are lined up. And 9 plus 5 is 14. So that would be 14,000. Okay, now let's look at these problems and you answer it in your mind and say the answers aloud. 3 plus 8 equals 11. So 30 plus 80 equals 110. 300 plus 800 then would equal 1,100. And 3,000 plus 8,000 would equal 11,000. Okay, remember we have a little saying or a word that will help us when we're doing multiplication. So the word is get, G-E-T. And the G in get stands for groups. That's the number of groups. Then we multiply that by the E, which is each, the number in each group, in each group. And that will equal the total. The total is also called the product. The product is an answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, right below your mental math box is where we're starting our lesson. The next week on Thursday morning, Bo, Chun, and their mom prepare for the market. Bo sells eggplants, a vegetable that has been eaten in China for more than 2,000 years. He places 2 eggplants in each bag. Okay, are you hearing that? 2 in each. So we have the E in get is going to be 2 in each. Chun sells lotus flowers in bunches of 10. So those are groups of 10. Their mom sells pomegranates in boxes of 5. So the pomegranates are in groups of 5. Help them count how many of each item they have to sell at the market today. Okay, so you're going to take your pencil and circle the group of eggplants, the pairs, and then fill in the blank boxes. So we're going to be counting by 2s because each of these is a group of 2. So we count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We can also think about it as repeated addition. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 14. But we know that multiplication is a faster way than doing 2 plus 2 plus 2 so many times. So we can multiply the number of groups, 7 of those, each one of these is another group. 7 groups of 2 eggplants in each group is 14 eggplants. 7 times 2 equals 14. G-E-T. We can think of multiplication as the number of groups times the number of items in each group. Okay, now let's look at the lotus flowers. Remember that Chun put those in groups of 10. So each of these groups has 10. So we're going to skip count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So we have 7 groups, or 7 bunches, times 10 flowers in each group for a total of 70 flowers. So the way we would write that with a multiplication problem would be 7 times 10 equals 70. Okay, now let's look at the pomegranates that their mom had. Each group of pomegranates has 5 pomegranates in each group. So we have 1 group, 2 groups, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups total. And we're going to count those by 5s because each group has 5. So we say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We can multiply the number of boxes by the number of pomegranates in each box. So 7 boxes, that's our groups, times 5 pomegranates in each box, that's our each, equals 35 pomegranates. That's the total. So this is 7 times 5 equals 35. Just really quickly, let's look at this relationship. Do you notice how both of the groups are the same? 7. But 10 in each group is twice as much as 5 in each group. So the answer, the total, 7 times 10, is going to be twice as much as the answer to 7 times 5. And if you double 35, you get 70. At the market later that day, Chen saw some beautiful vases on shelves. 3 vases were on each shelf. How many total vases were on the shelves? Add each shelf of vases to the previous shelves by adding the numbers in the boxes. Okay, so we have repeated addition here. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So we'll be skip counting by threes. So 3 plus 3 more is 6, plus 3 more is 9, plus 3 more is 12, plus 3 more is 15. And we know from practicing our multiplication facts that 5 times 3 equals 15. Now let's think about this. If someone bought all the vases and there were 0 groups of 3, if this part did not exist, there were no vases left, how many vases would you have? That's right, 0. So 0 multiplied by any number always equals 0. That's because you either have, in your get, 0 groups or 0 in each group. If I have no groups with 15 in each group, I still have 0. Or if I have 15 groups with nothing in the group, I still have 0. So 0 multiplied by any number is 0. All right, let's look at the lesson practice. How many items are there? Use skip counting or repeated addition to help complete the problems. So this first one, these lanterns, 6 groups of 2 lanterns in each group. 6 times 2 equals, if we're multiplying by 2, we can just double the other number. 6 times 2 equals 12. So we would write 12 here. On the vases, 4 groups of 5 vases in each group. 4 times 5 is, write your answer here. And 3 groups of 10 flowers. We can count by tens. 3 times 10 is, write your answer here. Okay, on this section in the orange box, I want to talk about something. It says draw a line to match the problem to the correct image. Then use skip counting or repeated addition to solve the problems. So on the other activity, they had the groups circled going vertically. On this one, the groups are going to be circled going horizontally. So in this group, we have 2 groups times 3 in each. So you would match the 2 times 3 here. And then you would answer that. Okay, so be sure that you're making your groups going across instead of up and down. Horizontal groups instead of columns. You can push pause and complete that part. All right, at the bottom, the directions say, Write a multiplication problem for each question and complete it. So we're going to answer it. Okay, here's the first one. Chun sold 7 bunches of 10 flowers. How many flowers did she sell? Chun sold 7 bunches of 10 flowers. So write the multiplication fact and the total here. Bo sold 5 bags of eggplants with 2 in each bag. How many eggplants did he sell? Bo sold 5 bags of eggplants with 2 in each bag. How many eggplants did he sell? Write your multiplication problem and find the product here. If each eggplant can feed 3 people, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, how many people can you feed with 5 eggplants? If each eggplant can feed 3 people, how many people can you feed with 5 eggplants? Note that the groups here come after in the problem, and the each comes first in this problem. So be sure you write it as your get. Remember, groups times each equals total. All right, we're to the independent practice and review. This is the part where I'm just going to read it for you if you need help with reading. You might want to pause in between so that you can answer. Number 1, round 353 to the nearest 10. Number 2, round 655 to the nearest 100. Number 3, round 348 to the nearest 100. Okay, for each of these numbers, 424, 1055, 35, and 228, you are going to round each number to the nearest 10 and then write the answer in the box below it. Okay, for these numbers, you're going to round each number to the nearest 100 and write the answer in the box below it. Okay, on this part, up at the top, it says, for each addition problem, write the number shown in expanded form in the green box and then add. Remember to use zeros as placeholders and to include commas in the answers. So you're going to take the expanded form. You're going to write that number in standard form in the green box, and then you're going to add it to the number that's already given. Be sure that you line up your place values so that it makes adding easier. Then you'll write your answer down below. Push pause and do that now. Okay, at the bottom it says, draw the missing half of this Chinese building called a pagoda. Make sure your side of the building looks the same as the one shown. Use the dots to help you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little hint with this part. It's easiest to start with the horizontal lines that it gives you and then use those to help you fill in the other parts. So if I'm looking at this section of line here, I can see that it goes 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to come across 1, 2, 3 spaces. And that will make it easy for me to draw the line that is diagonal, an oblique line, over here when I connect those 2 points. So I would start with the ones that are horizontal and then fill in the others. Okay? Congratulations, you completed Lesson 5. Be sure to give your work to your parent or teacher so they can check it. And I will see you next time.